Classic Conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way to rap. Classic Conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with JT and Low. Classic Conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic Conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with JT and Low.
The time it is 8:30. My bad, it's 8:30-ish. We went back to a bad habit today, but it is still time for Classic Conversations with JT and Low.
And Ask a Cop, and we're going to blame him today. How about that?
Right, exactly.
It's your fault.
Exactly.
Boom.
Waiting for you to get in here and do your segment. Waiting around and everything. You got to
Waiting around for you, man. You tripping. Man. See, you always, yeah. You've been telling all them, we don't go there. Yes. But yeah, man, it's that time. It's time for us to get this thing going. 404-500-1605. Let me say that again because I said that too fast. 404-500-1605. Want y'all to give us a call during this show and, have a conversation with us. Those little buttons over there, the like button, love button, the hug button, the laugh button, you can even get mad at us or you can cry. Either way, when you hit those buttons, it's going to help our algorithm
go up because as I've asked you in the past, and just like Angelo asked you last week in my absence, we need for you to go hit the button, man, because we are on Spotify, we are on YouTube, we are also on Amazon Music. Just go hit the button. Hit the button, subscribe, share, follow. That's all it is. It's free. Doesn't take that long. While you're doing it right now, see, I see all these people watching. I don't see no buttons being touched.
Hey, yeah.
Touch the buttons for me, people. Angelo.
What up, brother?
How was your week, bro?
Good week, man. No complaints. So I'm going to start the show off. I don't know if she's on the road or not. So I'm going to tell you how my week was because it started today. Because today was the first love of my life's birthday. The first woman I ever loved. The first woman ever said she loved me back. My mom's 74th birthday today, man. So, happy birthday to the beautiful queen, Miss Catherine Gracie. We had a great birthday dinner today, and she hung out at her senior citizen early today, took some cupcakes over there.
Yeah, she said she was dancing up a storm.
Got his new Mayfield song that had a birthday song. So, yes, it was real dope.
Mama Sykes, put your Cash App up there. Make sure you do that. I know you said you was gonna get in. Huh?
My mama don't Cash App. we just got it doing a Zelle here recently, JT. Yeah, no, you might be asking too much. we just got to plug in the Zelle.
Put the Zelle up there so we can get you blessed.
But happy birthday, man. I don't take that lightly. I'm extremely blessed to still have my mother, man. I don't take it lightly, bro. So. Every day, I'm appreciative beyond belief. So, happy birthday, Mom. I love you.
Yep. Happy birthday, Mama Sykes, for sure. So we got some guests up here today. We got my man James from the flag football world. How you doing, guy?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, that's Mr. 5-Star Sports himself.
Right. Yeah. he was chilling in the cut, so we just figured, we bring him on up since he's a conversationalist.
I was in the area, and I was like, man, it's been a while since I've stopped by the show. So
okay.
I was like, let me just come hang out tonight.
All right. Appreciate you. Got a special guest over here to our right. Angelo, I'm going to let you do the honors.
This is Dijon, man. Go and announce yourself, man. Tell me where you from, brother.
All right, my name is Ray Dijon. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I have a brand called Laughaholics. I got a TV series with 36 episodes called Laughaholics Live. And I have a comedy club in Brooklyn, New York called 275 Park Laughaholics.
What's up, man?
Which it's an honor to be here because I remember doing the Uptown years ago when you were at the other location. It was like a warehouse type of
Marietta Street. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
And then it was eerie because I just was with Earthquake. We did a show together in Atlantic City
Okay.
on Saturday, and then I come here, and the history is just
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah, and it's so good to see, like, down here in Atlanta, so many black businesses and ownership and all that good stuff.
No doubt. Well, it was a pleasure to have you, brother, man, and somebody that can to relate to these real life struggles in this comedy world, man. From a black man's standpoint, it's real in the Ville. How was your week, JT?
Hey, man, my week was good. The wife got cleared of COVID, so I was finally
Good deal.
able
Welcome
to
back, Casper.
I was finally able to get unpacked. I was finally able to sleep in my own bed. So well, actually, that didn't happen last week. It just happened Sunday. It just happened Sunday. But the most amazing thing about my wife, man, with COVID, the best time that when she felt the best was when she went outside on the back porch and smoked a damn cigar.
Say it ain't so.
Bruh.
Everything was right with the world.
She come walking through the house, and me and her daughter, we spraying Lysol while she walking through. And, I got on a whole, I call it a COVID condom, where I put this stocking cap on and pull this turtleneck up, cover my eyes up, and then I put shades on. And, I got my gloves on, and she walks through the house and goes outside and smokes a cigar for 2 hours, and she's laughing and everything. Soon as she get back upstairs, coughing and hacking and
Real?
Yeah, bro, it's the most amazing thing I've seen.
That's wild.
Every time that she's had COVID, this has happened. Every time. Yeah.
So, did she have like bad symptoms, or she just?
It was more of the first 2 days, the cold, the bad cold symptoms.
cough.
Yeah, the cough, just tightness, not being able to really move around a lot, really, really tired. But after, I would say, the second day, it mainly became a cough. After that, it kind of just weaned itself off. But hey, man, like I said, she was able to smoke, didn't stop her a bit. So,
That's what's up, man.
but we got the negative, so we all good now.
Here's the important thing, right?
Yeah, got that negative result in. So, yeah, man, other than that, the week was good, bro. Like I told y'all, London was dope. Other than my bags being lost and the wife coming back with COVID, had a great time. The food was, I don't want to say trash, but the food really wasn't that good other than a sandwich that I had. They had some sandwiches that was really good. We went to dinner at a steak shop. It was good. It wasn't nothing that I would say, wow, that type of deal. Wembley Stadium is raggedy. They don't even have armrests, no cup holders. Yeah,
Man, it's a soccer stadium, and they don't do the whole, them folks be standing up.
yeah.
They probably need no armrest.
But
in
it
that
was
joint.
packed, man. They broke a record. I think it was 87,000 people was at the game.
Wow.
Yeah. Jacksonville Jaguars is the home team over there. I don't care how you look at it.
I won't bet against y'all again in London.
Hey, the
Cost me a pool.
Played 'em,
Jaguars. Come on up.
when-
And, yeah, everybody, this is James, Mr. Everything flag football right now, because ain't nobody else got leagues going. This him. So what's happening, bro?
well, I went over there actually when the Cowboys played them. I think we were the first or second game in London, and they billed the Jaguars as the home team, but that
Well-
didn't work out too well.
We found out some things. We found out that the owner of the Jaguars is part owner of Wembley Stadium and something to do with the
so
soccer
that's
team.
why
over
they
there.
always make
So that's
two
why
trips.
they always over there. They was over there for 2 straight weeks.
Well, that
man.
makes sense.
Yeah, they had two
they
games
was over
over
there
there.
for 2 weeks, and
No, they still there.
yeah,
No, they
No,
played
that was the
played.
second
That's
game.
right,
They're
too.
coming
They played
back
Baltimore,
now.
But Baltimore played this
yeah,
week.
and
yeah.
even the players was talking about how they just felt different that second week because they had adjusted to the time.
Well,
and everything.
that was actually something that I listened to on the radio, saying that actually kind of gave Jacksonville
Yeah.
a slight advantage
It did.
because their bodies were able to adjust to the time zone. Because that's what I was saying earlier, 4 days. Usually it takes me about 3 days to get adjusted, and but having been there for a whole week, they're there. Whereas the
Dude.
other players, they came, they said they looked like kind of sluggish when they played and all of
The
that.
Falcons got in on Thursday. The game was Sunday.
Yeah, that's
How
bad.
do you adjust?
That's bad.
It's still, I mean, I still don't know if
That's why Harbaugh said he took Baltimore. They left yesterday. He said
Yeah.
the last time they did the same thing, got beat 44-7.
Yeah.
He said so he wasn't gonna do the same thing again.
Because I saw it on Facebook. I saw some of the Falcons fans taking pictures. They was like, we just landed, and the Falcons landed 10 minutes after us. And I'm like, wow, why would you come so late, in the game? But yeah. But
I know
like
when the
said,
Cowboys went, we were like about 5 days before the game, and they blew the Jaguars out. But yeah, that time difference definitely makes a difference when you fly over there. And I can only imagine with a professional team having to play at least 4 days.
Yeah, you're talking about 6 hours ahead. You're talking about adjusting, and now you got to get up. You're playing a game at 9:30 in the morning.
Basically.
Right, to what
Basically.
you're used to. So
Yeah.
But yeah, Jacksonville, they be over there. I got to kick it with the cheerleaders. Oh my God, it was so beautiful. Yeah, saw some of the cheerleaders and went out to dinner, and I actually thought I kept watching them, and I thought maybe they was there for Fashion Week, because Fashion Week was in Paris. And then I heard them talking about something, and I said, man, those are cheerleaders. They actually made me do the whole Duval thing to take a picture. But it was like 6 of them, and I'd have sung "Ready for the World" to take that picture with them.
So when you
I'd
when
sung
you
whatever they
stayed,
wanted to.
you said you stayed in the Hilton.
Yeah.
Did you notice how much smaller things
yeah.
over there?
That's Europe in general.
In Europe, yeah, a lot of people don't realize it's such smaller when you go over
Yeah,
there.
it's the same as I remembered when I went to Germany. It's so many people packed into one space. It's one of the reasons why I had to tell my wife, people, they're rude. They're gonna cut you off. They're gonna bump into you, and they ain't gonna say nothing. They're gonna keep it moving. And my wife and one lady, they came face to face and just stopped. She was like, "You ain't gonna move?" She's like, "You could have moved." I'm like, "Oh God." Yeah, they just rude over there, man, and it reminds me of the Manhattan. When you talk about hotel rooms and stuff like that, everything is just really small. The bathrooms were so tiny. Hitting my elbow while I'm shaving, and it was. But it was the experience, though. You know what I'm saying? I do want to go back.
It's a dope look you got, Dwayne.
I have a map
that.
to use now this time when I go back, but I do hope to go back soon. I don't want to go back over there for a football game though. I want to go over there.
Definitely better to go back when it's warm over there, which is not a long period of time. But it's better to go back when it's warm because it's a lot of beautiful things to see when you're there. The Eye of London. You saw Wembley, but Wimbledon. Go over to Wimbledon, the Palace.
Yeah.
A lot of good areas. Piccadilly Circus, Leicester Square, all those good areas, the Rose Garden. It's a great touristy spot to visit. And I would say no less than 8 to 9 days.
Sheesh.
Don't know if I'll be doing that, but listen, we got to go to break. And
Yeah, he's
all
a
of
traveler, boy.
All of my cigar smokers out there, let me let you know, the cigar world over there is made for the elitist and not for the regular man. The price difference over there compared to here, huge difference. But we'll be right back. Classic Conversations with JT and Low.
That's a topic, yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling that.
Yeah, that is dope.
That's it.
All right, y'all, we back, man. Classic Conversations with JT and Low.
That's a cop.
Listen, people, again, I need you to hit those buttons over there. Like button, love button, cry button, surprise button, whatever you hit, it's all going to help our
Algorithm.
It's going to go up because I need for you to go. Again, I need for you to go on over there, man. You need to share these things. You need to follow us. You need to subscribe. YouTube, Amazon Music, Spotify. Put in Classic Conversations, people, with a K, and it's going to pop up. You're going to see it. Hit the button, people. That's all I'm asking y'all to do. It's free. Real quick before we get into the subject matter, it is nomination time again for ATL's Hottest. And yes, Classic Conversations with JT and Low has been nominated for the hottest online radio talk show and podcast. We're going to put that link up there. Make sure y'all put them votes in there for us. But while you're in there, go ahead and vote for me as hottest online personality. And then you can vote for me again with Hottest Power Couple, me and my wife, James and Kaya Thompson. And also you can vote for the stage play that I'm in, The Shell of a Man. While you're in there also, go ahead and write in Uptown Comedy for the Comedy Hotspot. They're not actually doing nominations. They want people to go in there and write it in. So while you're in there, do that also. We're going to get that link up there for you in a short time. So, my special guest here, my man Ray DeJean out of Brooklyn, New York. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
All right.
You don't
to
say
be
it
here.
like Sean. Sean, I was gonna say Brooklyn.
Right. right.
Sean is a Brooklynite
Through and through.
from the worst part too. I know because I live in Brooklyn. So the part where he's from, they called it Vietnam at one point.
Yeah, I
Who's
ran.
familiar with those kind of neighborhoods?
Yeah, I ran them streets, man. My pops still live up there in the pink houses. So yeah, you know
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I know about that
it's
stuff.
funny you brought that up because right next to the pink houses, there's a restaurant called Lindenwood Diner.
Yes, yeah,
I did comedy in the back room there 15 years.
no doubt.
Also, the movie theater right next to the pink houses.
Yeah,
I did what was called comedy at the movies. I was the first one that started doing stand-up in movie theaters. So I did like 5 different movie theaters in New York.
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Walk straight down, you go past the movie theater, then the little diners down there, whatever. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay.
During the pandemic, I was doing drive-in comedy shows in the parking lot of the restaurant. I was the only entertainment in
snap.
town, drive-in comedy. So the
What's
law
that?
at that point was,
That wasn't dangerous over there.
nah. Even when I was doing, I never had ever, 15 years of doing comedy in that area, East New York, which is the worst area in Brooklyn. I never even had an argument.
Nice.
So
That's respect.
yeah, I guess the comedy calmed people's down.
How about that?
It came out for different reasons, you know. It's
Good
just-
point. Good point.
back
Good point.
then.
Well, I see you in Atlanta and everything. What brings you down?
I needed a much needed break. I'm here with my daughter. My daughter lives down there. She graduated from Georgia State University.
Okay.
She decided to
Congratulations.
stay.
Congratulations.
They got a homecoming coming up, so I've had some health issues back home. Had a stroke on July 12th, but you know I'm blessed. I'm back, and I told her I need to come down, just take a couple of days and chill, because you know I run a club, of course. This brother here knows how much stress that is.
Yeah.
So it's a 200-seat restaurant, bar, comedy club, liquor license, everything. So I just had TK this past weekend, 3 shows.
Okay.
Michael Blackson a month before. So I'm building it. I started doing what was called comedy rooms first. That's when you take somebody's restaurant or bar or whatever and you transform it into a comedy spot once a week. I did that for years. And during the pandemic, my mind just started working. I'm like, yo, I got to get my own spot.
Okay.
So I built the brand so much during the comedy rooms and the comedy theater and the diner and the movie theater and all of that. I said, let me see if I could go online and propose getting some investors. Every single person I talked to, nobody said no. Everybody said yes. So I was able to raise enough capital through black investors that, in our community to raise $750,000 to open my club. So everybody has their little built-in percentage.
Nice.
It's just, and then I have one partner, so we have the most of the stake in the club. But they believed in me because of the brand that I built for so long and the relationships that I've developed. When I did the movie theater, I'm Samore, Earthquake, Ricky Smiley, Adele, Cheryl Underwood, everybody. Everybody. I developed relationships with them. The movie theater was big enough that it made dollars and cents to be able to pay them. And so over the years, I built that to the point now where I can just call them and I get on shows. So having my own spot and hosting, I started one time Talent. I don't know if y'all know Talent.
Of course.
He was my first host. I'm talking 30 years ago.
Wow.
I started with him 30 years ago, and one day he couldn't show up. He's like, "Ray, I can't make it. You got to host." I was like, "What?" So he gave me a couple of pointers. So since I'm a music guy, I come from the show called Video Music Box out of New York City. I hosted that show for 30 years. So that's how I got my popularity in the tri-state area. And I took that and I said, well, let me take my popularity, and I like comedy. Let me promote some comedy shows. But talent and Tina Graham was the only people that I could go to for comedians because I didn't know anybody.
Tina Graham. Yeah.
Yeah, Tina Graham. She worked with Bob Sumner on the Def Comedy Jam and all that. So that happened. And then when I started hosting, I was used to hosting concerts, which I still do, because of my Video Music Box popularity and being on radio and all of that. I do R&B concerts, hip hop, old school, only old school. I don't do no new shit. Excuse me. I don't do nothing new.
You're right. Say it.
I don't. So I said, you know what? This is not going to last for too long. So let me develop my own brand. So I decided to call it Laughaholics, and the reason why I call it that is because I had a drug problem back in the days. I turned myself into a program, and I got myself together January 6, 1984. Went into a program. Ever since then, I've been drug-free, alcohol-free. I don't drink. I don't do none of that. I said I'm gonna call it Laughaholics because that's what destroyed my life. But now I'm gonna let this build my life. So I tell people, come get some of this Laughaholism at my spot. Come become a Laughaholic. That's my whole concept. So I built that concept to the point now where people believed in me, they invested, and now I got my own spot.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Congratulations on that one.
That's
so I mean, it's a journey. It's a lot of work, a lot of work. You know, when you try to operate 4, 5, 6 times a week, it's a lot of work. A lot of work, a lot of different personalities with comedians, like TK.
Yeah.
TK and I are really tight, but he's a different guy.
Yeah,
Different guy.
TK is a very, very close friend of Klassic Konversations.
Yeah, TK.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to use your past and your current success as a platform to help other up-and-coming comedians who possibly been through?
Absolutely,
the struggle?
100%. A lot of comedians, new comedians from Atlanta come to New York all the time. They come to me first because they know I'll give them a spot on the show. Like my Wednesday nights is specifically for a mix of seasoned and new comedians. I want them all to be together because I want them to talk together in the green room. Talk to these comedians that have been around for a while. Get some pointers or whatever. And that Wednesday night, like tomorrow night, I rotate the host, but I give them an opportunity. So I've seen even Kevin Hart. I used to pay Kevin Hart $50. When he was coming up from Philly, he was coming to my rooms. Back then when I started, I had like 6 comedy rooms. And they used to all come to me. D. Ray Davis, Tracy Morgan. I remember Tracy Morgan one time was at one of my spots and got booed. And he wanted to give up comedy. He was like, that's it, Ray, I'm not doing it no more. I had to counsel him for like an hour and a half. He'll never forget that. Until this day, every time I see him, we talk about it. We bring the conversation. Ray, I was going to give up, man, if it wasn't for you, whatever. So I see all these guys. Mike Epps, when he came up, he came from Atlanta first, right, Mike?
Yep.
He came, he used to come to all of my rooms, and they developed themselves by giving them opportunity, get some stage time. Win or lose.
What's up?
The losing is what's going to develop you. The bombs is what's going to develop you. And so, over time, thank God I treated them a certain way when they was coming up. So now, when I call them, they pick the phone up. And at least we can have a conversation. I'm like, look, I don't want no favors. I just want you to give me a date. I don't want no favors. I'm gonna pay you what you deserve. You've built yourself to where you are. I'm gonna pay you, but give me one of those dates. That's all I want.
So how do you find that now? Because I know back in the day, the only choice black comedians had was black clubs. Now that they're having, a lot of them don't give back so much to black clubs, and how do you deal with that? Do you confront them on it, or? What's your stance on that?
Confront the comedians.
Well, comedians, what's your feel on that? Because I know some of my favorite comedians like Dave Chappelle, certain people. I know they're big now, and you always hear about them dropping in. At,
see,
at the other clubs.
right. I have issue with the fact that they don't drop in with us.
Yeah.
Because my comedy club,
What I tell y'all.
my comedy club, and I'm not just saying it because it's mine, but my comedy club, the aesthetics and what mine look like compared to a lot of these white clubs that they go work out in,
Just
there's no comparison.
Black. Yeah.
No comparison. Like the Cellar, of course, the Comedy Cellar is the most popular, white comedy room. That's where they all go work out at. Even Kevin Hart. But they don't embrace comedians like Earthquake. They don't embrace comedians like T.K. Kirkland. T.K. Kirkland can't go there and say, "Can I get some time?" They're just looking at the mainstream kind of comedians like Chappelle, J.B. Smoove. Those are certain. Y'all understand where I'm going with it. There's certain. They kind of kicked into mainstream, but when you get that pure urban comedian, like an Earthquake or a TK, and I say that, like, Ashley Larry stopped by a couple of weeks ago. He came in and just dropped in and did a half hour, which was cool.
Donnell Rollins.
Donnell Rollins,
Yeah, I like him.
Donnell Rollins.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Now, the Guy Torreys and the Joe Torreys and the Melanie Camachos and all of them, they definitely, they're still like at a point where they didn't break. They're there. They're nationally known, but they didn't, boom, hit that. They need one sitcom or one movie or whatever. And then, but I see a guy like Guy Torrey and Donnell on the show. It was me, Guy, Donnell, Earthquake, Lavelle Crawford. In that order. And each and every one on the show had a different perspective, different style, whole nine. So I wish that they would come by. This club here, I would expect that a Dave Chappelle would want to come here. Like, that should be something that just like, I need to go there. He should book his own flight, not get nobody to fly. Book your own flight. Come on in. Just stop in. That's great for the black culture of comedy, period. Because if you look at it, we have the most that have been populated out of our industry. We have the most superstars
Facts.
in Hollywood, in movies and everything, sitcoms. If you look at the majority of sitcoms on television are dominated by our black comedians that became superstars. Martin, Cedric, all of them.
The list goes on and on.
Yeah, the list goes on and on. On and on.
Hey, man, go ahead. I'm
sorry, because I'm gonna have to hit him up on this.
Now, go ahead.
Now, can you give us, Eric B, Rakim, all the real rappers, Biggie? We had some on last week. Everybody was talking about.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, but Biggie, can you tell us some Biggie stories or something like that? How was he really?
Nah, Biggie is a nice guy. Puffy, on the other hand, not good. Very arrogant. And then I have a lot of stories with that, like people like, even a guy like Steve Harvey. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all.
Asshole.
Steve Harvey, very, very arrogant. Put it this way. So Samore.
I paid to go to one of his shows. We won't talk
I am so tight with Samore and Wayne, her husband. Of course, you know him, man. Like, we're like this. Seriously, like they, put it this way, on my 50th birthday, Samore calls me and goes, "What's your address?" She sends me a check for $1,000. But Steve Harvey, so one day Samore's at the NJ Pack. They call and say, "Listen, we're going to be in town. I got some tickets for you. Come backstage, come see us, say what's up." So I go, I'm coming in the back, and they on tour with Steve Harvey. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, "Yo, where's Steve Harvey at?" Wayne was like, "What? Step in the room. Come inside, close the door." He said, "Ray, We've been on tour with Steve Harvey 6 months. We have never seen him or talked to him. I was like, what? He said, when they want to talk to him, they have to put in a request to the manager to speak to Steve.
A request.
A request.
I believe
And they're on tour together. And they're like, you know, they're A-list comedians. That's crazy.
Remind me of that Marshawn.
And I watch those shows. You know, when somebody like some more is a feature for Steve, you know what they do. They have a 20-minute intermission in between them sets. You got to. You got to reset the whole room.
Yeah, right. That's wild.
Yeah, you got to reset. You know, so yeah, as far as Biggie is concerned, Biggie is a very, very nice guy. Biggie, always been humble. Puffy, I've seen him like go completely off because sometimes I'm hosting these concerts and I'm backstage and I see like I did something in Cancun. That's when the guy from Atlanta used to go down there. Like, what's his name? The African guy, the Nigerian guy. He was a promoter down here. He started.
AG Entertainment.
No, you just got to cut that.
Something happened to his brother not too long ago.
That's Alex. Yeah.
Alex, yeah, Alex. We were from New York and we partnered with Alex, so we would do everything down in Cancun.
Okay.
So there's a show, The Lox is on the show. I think Lil' Kim, I get Junior Mafia, whatever. Biggie wasn't on that show. So Puffy comes late, comes backstage, and he starts seeing things. He starts throwing stuff around, cursing people out. I mean, big, huge security dudes, like talking to them like they little kids, yelling at them, cursing at them. And then after that, right before the show, he tells everybody coming together, he said, okay, let's pray.
That's about right.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And a lot of that is kind of coming back now because you see what's happening. You know, they're linking him. Well, of course, TK talked about it online.
Been talking about it.
Yeah.
TK talked about it the other night. He was just here. He's been talking about it.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he pulled it up. He probably pulled this show up. He said, Ray, listen to this.
Yeah.
That's probably why. That's probably why. I don't know what his name is anymore. Why Diddy is running around now? He's Love.
Giving them
the Love album. The Love
rights
album.
back and all that.
Yeah, he's Love now.
Yeah, trying to put some.
The musical rights said it was a stipulation.
He probably knew it was coming. He probably knew it was coming.
But they said it was in the contract when he gave the rights back. It was a clause in there that said you can't say anything negative about him to the press in order to get your rights back. It's a clause in the contract that he's making them sign.
Yeah, it's all about the surface.
Well, real quick, man, we got to close out this topic.
All right.
I just want to say, brother, that it's great that you came and said these things because I've been saying these things and people don't really understand it. And, you know, I was in L.A. a few weeks ago and Ends, you know, who had Comedy Union in L.A., he was saying the exact same thing, you know, how there's no comedy club in Los Angeles, California, there's no black-owned comedy clubs because of these same issues. You know, these guys make it and don't want to give back to the clubs they made it from. You know, DC Curry sat right here a month ago, probably about a month ago, and told on his podcast of how just 25 years ago, none of them could play those clubs. None of them were allowed into those clubs to play those clubs. Just 25 years ago, they weren't allowed in those clubs, and now they're panting desperately to get into those clubs and forgetting about the clubs they were playing up until that point. You know,
Yeah, that's part of Guy Torrey's story with the Fat Tuesdays. Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because only night they had was that one night. They made the white comedy club. They had Chocolate Sundays, the Fat Tuesdays. Those are only nights that the black comedians could play those clubs.
Right.
But the white clubs made more money on that one night, than they made their whole week.
Just like Caroline's on Broadway.
Same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now I have a venue that looks way better, and we have our own food. You know, I have a black chef. We got the whiting. We got all that.
Yeah.
Like, the room it's not like you can't make money in the room. You know, I was able to pay, Michael Blackson $20K, whatever. Okay, but okay, so cool. Maybe you're getting 30 somewhere else, but Don DC Curry on the other hand, he's a different kind of person, man. I really love that guy.
The realist.
He did my room, my diner, He came and did the diner. Mike Epps called me one day. He's like, "Ray, I'm in New York. I'm coming to the diner." This is a room that only held 80 people, small, like in the back. But Don actually came and did like 4 shows in 2 days with me. He'll do that. Like, he wants to play my club now. He's been like, "Ray, I need to get to your room." Samore's another one. She's a little different. Samore, they'll try to work it out.
All right, listen, man, we're going to come right back. This man got some great stories, but we also going to talk about money and family. Do you have family that actually try and count your money after they ask you for money? We'll be right back. Classic Conversations with JT and Low.
And who?
We back, y'all. See, it was the applause. No music. There's no music. It was an applause. See? Yo, we back, y'all. Classic Conversations with JT and Low.
That's a cop.
Yeah, man, we are back. Man, Ray DeJean done dropped some stuff on us, bro. It's some pretty good stuff. We're probably going to get back to some of these stories. I know we will, but we're going to start off with this. Money and family. In regards to loaning money to family. A lot of people. Okay, you two own comedy clubs. So if somebody reaches out to you and asks you for some help with something and you give it to them, do you ever get the question back like, "Damn, bro, you could have gave me more than that, because you got this and you got that." You ever get anything back like that?
I get that all the time. First of all, they think because I have a comedy club that I'm rich. They think because I'm on TV, I'm rich. Automatically. So they have this prefixed expectation. Or they've already counted, like you said, when we was
Count your
off.
pockets.
Yeah, they already counted what they assume you have. So it should be comfortable for me not only to give it to you or to lend it to you, but not to stress you to give it back to me.
James,
Because,
you running 7 flag football leagues. I'm sure everybody think you paid.
Listen, they count that money so fast. But one thing they always fail to forget, and I'm sure you can relate, they don't count your expenses. They'll count your
Exactly.
income, but they don't count your expenses.
See that with you, they know how many teams is in your league.
Yeah.
And they know how much it costs for each team.
Yeah, and so they were
feel
like,
you got it.
I remember I had a conversation one time with Gates, and he was like, "Man, James, somebody told me you made $11,000 off the women's league." I'm like, "But they only pay $550, and there's only 10 of them. How we make $11,000?" Like, And then he posted, one of my Facebook friends posted. He was like, "Next time somebody asks me to borrow some money, I got to smell it first.
I saw that.
To make sure it ain't funky when I ask for it back." Because, you sweat me about that little funky $40.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was fresh as downy when I loaned it to you.
I saw that. Man. That was hilarious.
It's crazy. It's like, so my motto is, and my best friend of 36 years, he told me this: you no longer loan out money that you can't afford to lose.
To lose,
So when
exactly.
somebody asks you for money, you give them the amount you can afford not to get back, and don't worry about it.
Or you say no.
Or you say no. That's a good one.
Oh, I'm learning how to say
That's a
no
good
now.
one. But you just can't give out anything you can't afford to not to get back, because then that's gonna make that friendship cost you a friendship. But yeah, everybody thinks that you always got money, and they swear up and down, because I had a life prior to this flag football. So, they go back and look, oh, he's here, he's there. I'm like, yeah, but look at pre-2019. I was at those same places too. So it's all about, yeah.
It's funny you said you've learned to say no, which means you said a lot of yeses that turned out
Exactly.
bad.
That turned out bad. So, as a club owner, so we get producers that come that want to do their own shows and make their money, sell tickets. I'm like, okay, all right. I tell you what. off the top, it's a $2,500 bar guarantee. You keep saying you're going to do 200 people, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Okay, put your money where your mouth is, because I need to be able to cover my expenses. I'm not just opening the room so you can have a good time in here. You walk out with a couple of dollars. Here it is, I got 10 staff,
Lights.
Electricity,
electric, rent.
water,
Yeah, man.
all of that. See, they don't ever want to count.
Nah,
that.
they don't.
Everybody want a discount.
It's amazing how
Right.
somebody could actually just look at the clothes you wear, where you live, and the cars you drive, and just automatically assume that you got it.
But bigger than that, JT, the assumption plus the sense of entitlement of thinking because they think that you owe that to them. Here's my, you know what I mean?
And the audacity of you not to give it.
The audacity,
Right, the nerve of you.
Mitigated gone.
The nerve of you.
the
No.
nerve of you.
No. What gets me is when you loan somebody some money. And I think if I loan it to you, I hate to have to ask.
Oh, they
But
convenient.
I
They
hate
forget.
when you ask somebody and they look at you like, why you
Sweating
saying
me.
about the money?
Because you told me 2 weeks ago you was going to give it to me.
Bigger than having to ask them for it. I hate when they have a casual conversation with you as if you don't owe the money.
Tell him.
I go better than
Mention
that.
everything but the money.
Oh, hold on.
Telling
They
you what
owe
they've been
you.
doing.
No, they've borrowed the money. They now owe you, and now they out with you, balling out of control, and
Right.
still owe you.
Right.
Spending money.
And they show up with a brand new,
You know,
Tesla.
they got club money, they got drink money, they got weed money, they got all this money except the money they owe you. Yeah, it's crazy.
And if you bring that up, why you counting my money, right? Because you counted mine.
That's it. That's it. So
Millennials say it's crazy just because people see a loved one on TV. Family always think the person paid, but they never think that a family member on Cops is paid. That's funny. Good.
Well, getting it back on the subject of comedy real quick, because we have the resident comedian for the show, Sugar Sean. And what do you know about that man? Was he ever funny?
Well, he was a criminal first.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Who would've thought that?
he was a hustler.
He's admitted to that. So
He was a hustler. I think a lot of us that come out of Brooklyn, I mean, I've been arrested 26 times. I did state bids and everything. Yeah, so, yeah, man. And just to bring that up, I created a comedy tour in prisons on Rikers Island called a Stress Reduction Comedy Tour.
Wow.
I was bringing all the local comedians into the jails. I bring them into drug programs. I bring them into shelters, all of that. That's another part of like my give back into the community. I work with gun violence programs, victims of and families of gun violence in New York City. We put shows together for them so they can have a night out.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's nice.
comedy is amazing for a lot of things that people don't understand. It's very healing, scientifically as well.
Yeah, man. I'm a firm believer that laughter and music are two of the most healing things.
Oh, yeah.
Now, of course, with music. Well, with music, you have to make sure it's the right music. Some of it might take you over the edge.
Turn you up.
But with laughter, bruh, I mean, laughter can always take you away from anything. You know what I'm saying? So, comedy is always a stress reliever. So salute to both of you for, putting stress relievers out for our community, because Lord knows we need it. But there's a lot of stress that needs to be relieved within our community, for sure.
So back to that topic, though, just real quickly. The issue was they said Jay-Z didn't want to loan his cousin money, and a lot of the conversation was, they were naming a bunch of famous, rich, white people who would loan money from their parents. And they were making that stipulations, and they were kind of making a distinction because, that was they loan it to their child, not their sister's child.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was directed to them and not to, a cousin per se. So do you see the difference? Do y'all see where they're coming from? Like, what's your opinion on that in terms of just if you have it,
Well,
quote
even though
unquote.
you may have it, you earned it. You did put in all of the sweat equity to get where you're at. So you're not required to do anything other than with it, but enjoy it. Now, of course, if it's a family member, where does family member come from? Is it someone you've known your whole life, or is it just some random, like you said, cousin of a cousin of a cousin? And what is it for? Is it something? A lot of people have. When you have money, they have all the ideas in the world. Woo! They got so many ideas. Many people have come to me to invest in the ideas that they've had that never seemed to work until I got money.
But they don't have any part of investing other than their idea.
And then I've seen so many of these ideas never went anywhere. And so I'm like, well,
They didn't even come out
Exactly.
the starting block.
So I was gonna say the reason it ain't go anywhere is because you didn't invest in it.
I mean, because it's like, where's you ask for a business plan and they look at you like, well, dang, what you the bank or something? Well,
I've been thinking about this for a long time.
But
Break it all the way
Angelo,
down.
and you couldn't come to other investors with me.
getting back to what you said about that in regards to, and what you were saying in regards to, is it an immediate family member? Is it a cousin of a cousin? But the thing is, sometimes you feel obligated to do it for an immediate family member, but at the same time, sometimes not doing it is a lesson that they need. Sometimes they need that lesson of, no, I'm not going to do it for you this time. You got to figure it out on your own. Sometimes you're more willing to do something for somebody when you see them try and come out of the issue on their own instead of just coming to you to get out of the issue.
Absolutely.
I promise you, I'm not balling Willie at all, balling Bobby or whatever at all. But I've had immediate, close people, not only family, friends, that's asked me, and it wasn't a lot sometimes, but it could have changed my weekend. But and if it was something that kept happening all the time, I would have to see some type of work on their end before I would actually. And again, at the same time, it's one of those things, like you said, it's not a loan to get it back. Now, if I get it back, I'm gonna be gracious to get it back. But at the same time, it's something that I'm giving that I know that I probably won't get back. But if I can get, but I just would like to see you doing something other than saying, well, if you give me this, I can pay for this. Well, do something to get half of what you need, then come back to me.
You gotta, like I said, I need a plan. When I was doing my undergraduate degree at Norfolk State, HBCU.
Behold the green and gold.
Behold, I used to. I worked
you,
at the Salvation Army, and I was the case manager, and I worked in the office where people came in for rental assistance, and so I made the decision whether or not to give it to you. One of the things we used to use to determine the biggest factor is, if we pay your rent this month, how are you going to pay your rent next month?
Right.
Because if you don't have a way to pay your rent next month, then we've thrown away money that could have really made a difference to somebody else.
Yeah.
So what is your plan after this? And that's a big, thing about when people borrow money, depending on what it's borrowed from. Because I mean, living in Atlanta, I should have been a bail bondsman about how many times I done bailed people out of jail. But other projects, it's what is this money for? How are you? What is your real plan after I give you this money? How are you going to sustain? And if there's no real sustainability, then it's not really worth. That's when you got to come in with him. No.
I mean, similar to what Ray said, I had to learn to say no. It wasn't always no initially. It was, you. Sometimes you feel guilty with people. Sometimes you do. Sometimes they, you feel like, let me try to help. Let me, and then after you get burnt the 111th time, you realize, and it took somebody, like Robbie really helped because she never had a problem saying no to anyone. You know what I mean? So I just put her. I said, man, you gotta ask her, man.
You know what my response
I can
now
see that. I
sometimes
can
is?
see that.
I would
She had no
say,
problem saying no.
I would say, I ain't got it. I don't have it. I don't have it. You're asking for something that I don't have. I may have
crazy,
it.
though, don't they?
I may have it.
They don't have it, but they look at you.
And I know you look like I have it, but I don't have it. So you just got to figure it out. You should read that book called The Secret.
And I've told people
That's
the
a
reason
fact.
why I ain't got it is because of the watch that I got on. That's why I ain't got it, because I look like I got it.
What you got, Sugar?
Nah, this is a dope conversation. I'm happy to be. I'm outside for real. Y'all can't even really see me. Yeah, what up? But you know, this conversation about lending people money, one of the beautiful things about being able to help people is that you can, you know? And if I lend somebody something, it just came from the heart, and I'm not gonna give you what I can't give you. But when it comes to people like Jay-Z and all these other cats, they learn from the Michael Vick situation. You know, you bought your family a house, now I'm locked up because of stuff you was doing in the crib. So they'll lend it to you, but it's gonna go through so many different channels before it gets you, so they can't know that it's coming from that situation. So that's why Hov is like, no. Of course he's gonna say no out loud to everybody, but you know, in some way he's gonna get to him if he needs the help. You know, because you never know what they're doing with the bread, especially who's asking you for the money, you know? Because sometimes they may have a play, and they not really potentially trying to harm you or get you in trouble, but they might have a play real quick that they think they could do. But they know that you're not part of that, so they don't want you to get involved in it. But you got to be, you know, careful with how you lend money out.
Yeah, but that play could be.
Wait.
I got a tip on a horse.
Hold up.
Yeah, right.
Wait.
It be
And you want
detrimental.
money to
Hold
bet
up.
your-
Didn't Ray just tell us that he was a criminal first? Did he come out talking about the play?
Sure was.
I plead the fifth. Yeah.
I was asked a question once. If your sister or your brother worked for you and they was your accountant and you found out that they stole $400,000, would you have them prosecuted? I said, you damn right. Yes, sir.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, sir.
Of
They're going
course.
to jail. You're going to lose your job.
Yeah.
They're going to jail.
Yeah, they no longer my brother or sister. They violated. Like that. That's it.
Exactly.
There's no blood or nothing with that.
And,
Like, once you do
it's
that,
been over a period of time, so you've been doing this for 2-3 years?
that's how you got a car.
That's a deep question.
That one is pretty.
I don't know the answer to that.
You going through
That,
jail.
that one is pretty.
You're
deep.
going to jail.
That's it.
Now, my mama, she could steal whatever. She's not going nowhere.
How she gonna tell you in Spanish? Tell them how
that's,
she gonna say.
That's a good one, bro.
Yeah, that's deep.
That's a
deep.
good one. I think we might have to
Would you
expand that one.
prosecute?
I seriously got to think about that one.
You might like mommy up.
I'm
Think about the
just
sister.
Yeah, I'm just
That
thinking about my
idea
sister. And I'm
is
just
My
like-
sisters get locked up.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. It's like, yeah, you're going to jail, but then it's like you got to think. I guess it depends on the relationship that you have with that brother and sister. You know, if my sister did that to me, I would be mortified. But I would like, man, like, yeah, because of the relationship I have with my sister. Now, there's some people that be like, you know, I can see situations where I'd be like, okay, yeah. We finished. You can go ahead and have a seat outside. Go out there, like Chris Hansen. Go ahead out the door. They're waiting for you on the other side.
If your sister took $400,000 from you, I think you gonna change your mind.
I don't think so.
400,000,
Listen,
450,000,
well, the thing is
my sister.
525,089 cents.
but the thing is, if
Because
she
of my
stole that much money,
relationship
that
with-
means that I'm making, yeah.
Unc say 400,000. Mama going to jail too.
600,000, she gotta go.
That's deep, bro. I don't even know if I started making.
Hold up,
that
did
type of
somebody
money,
say
if I
I'm
could
like the
even let-
Moses of the
Yeah,
comedy
yeah.
game?
Millennial said I was gonna read that in a minute. They said he's the most of the comedy game. That's funny.
Yeah, if I was making that much money, I don't know if I could even let my family even work for me. I don't think I would even trust too many.
Well, let me
see,
tell you
now,
something.
that would be
Somebody who's had a significant amount of money stolen from a person that I considered a friend. I mean, it would somebody outside of, if it was somebody outside the family like I did, I would have no problem prosecuting. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, outside the
it brings a tear to my eye just thinking about how much money when I finally caught it. You know what I mean? So, but
I'm used to seeing people get killed over $100.
Yeah.
But now,
Dice game.
honestly,
Murdered.
if I was making that
Straight
kind of
up.
money, I would not let my mother work for me because she would give it away. There's no way. My mother,
Hey,
she would give it away.
Hey,
No.
we're gonna get ready to go to break, but I want to ask one question, and I want you to just answer it pretty quickly. If you get a personal loan from somebody, do you feel more obligated to pay that bill back than you do your personal bills and your personal finances? Yes or no?
I'm sorry to hear the question. Say it one more time.
If you get a personal loan from someone, and do you feel more obligated to pay that back than you do to pay your own personal financial bill?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you gave your word.
100%.
Most definitely.
How much is it?
He said, how much is it?
I got car notes, houses.
You have to. Because you don't know what you putting them in when they gave it to you. You got to give it back.
We'll be right back.
First of
Classic
all,
Conversations with
the
JT.
bill collectors don't have access to me on the street. Dang it.